this is the problem-solving wedge for the Fairisle toddler yoke sweater.
All right, so we are going to add a design element of a wedge so that we can put in a button band. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to hang on stitch left one the long stitch from the yoke. I think this is the right one. Double check. Yes. So we're hanging the long stitch from the yoke on the right hand side. I got to hold it up at the same time that I knit across. So I'm going to put my knees underneath, grab my working yarn, which for this one is white. My tension is going up to 7. I'm holding this yarn and I'm going to knit across. Oh, shoot. Okay, I don't want to lose my place. So now we are going to knit across. And now I need to let this go. Okay, so now I need to put down or put up the next stitch. Okay, so this is now the left side of the piece. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep this all in order. Okay. Oh, something's not right here. All right, so now I'm going to hang the next long white. All right, so that one was done. The next long one is a green. Okay, now I have to go to the other side. That one is also a green. And now this one is a green. Okay, so now I have to increase the right side 1 stitch. So that was the green one. So it's going to be, I'm going to find the purl bump of this one. Okay, so where's its purl? It's probably right here. So I'm going to hang the purl bump and the green long one on mine. And now we have 2 stitches going across. Okay. So now that one's done. It'll look really, really hard. that one. So this one is our next one. And then on this side, that's a little one. This is the big one. Now we need to increase the green one by 1. That means the left side by 1. So now I'm going to move the stitch over because I now have enough. And now I can move that purl bump. Move that back and hang the next long stitch. Okay, knitting across. This is row 10. I now have to find the other side. Okay, so that's the short. This is the long one. Now I need to increase the right side by 1. And find the purl bump. Move it over. Push that back. Finding the long stitch. That is this one. Hanging it on. Knitting across. This is the long one. Knitting across. Looking for another long one. That's short. That's long. Knitting across. Going around. This is the long one. Knitting across. Long one. Knitting across. This is a long. Knitting across. Okay, at this time we need to place yarn markers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my next stitch, which might be this one. Should be this one. Okay, and we have to place yarn markers. So we have this side and this side. All right. We can move those forward. Oh, no, 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 no. That was the wrong thing to say. We cannot do that. Nope. We need to put those back. I need to move this one over. Increase by 1. So move the purl bump for that one. Move these back. Move this one over by 1. And now you move them forward. Now we're going to knit across. Grabbing the long stitch on this side, going across, long stitch on this side, knitting across. That's short. This one is long. That one's short. That makes this one long, and this one is actually short. This is row 22. Short, long. Okay, we're going to have another massive increase here. Okay, so I need to move these two over, fill in the gap, move these two over, fill in the gap. I need to set marker. And I need to hang stitch. So this one's kind of a weird one. And knitting across. We're good to go. Need to hang a long one, which happens to actually be this one. This one is actually a short. The long one. Two more rows to go. This one is on there. Okay, this is 29, and this one is 30. I'm just going to hang an edge stitch here. All right. So I'm going to hang the same edge stitch, which is part of the collar, onto here. And now we're going to gate peg these off. So we want a nice neat edge. So together, back through, and then knit through, Good skate peg. Try and remember to go behind the gate pegs when you do this. It'll make it a lot easier. Of course. Okay. Ooh, I forgot to move those back. Okay, so back to there. Goes through, comes back, goes through again, holding on to it. Cutting my thread. One more time. Okay, so this is just the wedge. Get that the right way out. So this little wedge should be just enough to for a button band. Now I need to determine which is the front and which is the back. I should be able to tell fairly quickly. Okay, this is the front. So, on mine, I'm going to use my yarn marks for 2 little buttons here and here. And then I will make a little tiny crochet stitch along this line for the buttonholes. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And we'll come back when I'm done and you can see what that looks like. Okay, so I've sewed on these teeny tiny little buttons, and now I'm going to make little teeny tiny little buttonholes going up the front side of the piece. If I could stop getting it caught on the machine. So that when this is done up, all you see are the buttons very nicely on the piece. I'm going to make sure that you don't see them too severely. I am also going to utilize these yarn tails for that purpose. So I will come back after I have latch tool or crocheted a little tiny chain stitch going down this side, which is the front side of the sweater. Okay, so I'll tuck that in later. So I have these little crocheted button holes which hold those buttons. Now I didn't space mine very well, so I may have to move this one up a little bit, but that should, once I get these all tucked in, give us just that little bit of more space for a little person's neck. It's not perfect. Probably should have moved this one up here, but it's the first time I've ever done this. So I can also take a little bit of green and just move that in. and you won't really notice it. So there's my first button band, and yeah, we'll get the sweater done now, and we'll come back later.
I just need to sew these side seams and we are done this project.